My mum keeps telling me that I'm in love with you, and I'm not, so don't worry. It's just I never noticed how dedicated ants are. You know, on Saturday when the sun was out, I decided to do yoga in my garden because I've become that person now who does yoga in their garden. And while I was in the locust pose, I spotted an army of worker ants marching across the tip of my mat, carrying leaves and tiny sticks to their queen. I held my breath. Their little legs, precise in their movements, ensuring a swift delivery. The concentration, the coordination, the communication between their bodies, a silent dance, all for their beloved. Such a commitment. I was lost in them. And then my arm started to hurt and I had to change my pose. My best friend keeps telling me that I'm in love with you and I'm not, so don't worry. It's just lately when I'm eating, it's like I can taste every flavour. Remember when we were sat at that bench on the South Bank devouring mangoes that we got from the market? Each bite fresher and sweeter and more tropical than the last. I told you it was like I could taste the colour of their flesh, orange, and that this was an experience on par with hearing the greatest symphony and that I was not very good at metaphors. And you went to say something, but didn't you just looked at me instead? We were playing your silly quiz, and when I blurted Paris, all the sticky juice dripped from my mouth onto my top, and you laughed and you said, "Yes, Paris. Do you want my tissue?" My sister keeps telling me that I'm in love with you and I'm not, so don't worry. Thing is, my mornings have really improved. Last month I was on a roll. I'd wake up before my alarm, eat my breakfast, and I'd pack a lunch. One day the central line had signal failures at Bethnal Green as usual, so we were told to get off and find alternative routes. And do you know what I did? No, not cuss. I emailed my manager and walked the rest of the way. I know. I strolled through the park just because I thought I would. I sat on the grass and called my brother just to hear his voice. I never want to hear his voice. When I turn up at the office an hour and 15 minutes late, I just smiled, sat at my desk and took my time. I keep telling myself I'm not in love with you, and I'm not. So don't worry. It's just, I don't skip over all the love songs that come up on my shuffle anymore. In fact, I made a love playlist called I Got You, Babe, instead of Babe, which is a bit shit, and I shouldn't have told you that, but I find every little thing amusing nowadays. And I think it's an injustice that you live in South and I'm in East, and there are motorways and roundabouts and shops and houses brazenly separating us. Why is London so big? Anyway, I'm going off topic. All you asked was if I was okay, and the answer is yes, I am. I am, because fuck it, since the world's going to end, I probably am somewhat, maybe a tiny little bit, slightly kind of in love with you. And I know it's not you who's been worried. I know you've just been waiting for me to be brave.